Okay, it's the next day. I just started it at the next point. Oh, wait. This isn't right. What's going on? Where was that moment from before? What? Okay, I should have checked more before I started the recording. Okay, so he started right here then. Okay. Okay. Right. I remember that happening. We like went after that guy, but then now he's with team. Go back, attack this guy. Okay, so we did have someone die there. That's pretty interesting to look at. It's not really our fault. It would have made sense to go this way. Something like that, right? Okay, now we're with team. And yeah, something I did want to point out though is like, even if we're going to try to be stopping the cart before it gets all the way up here, there's kind of reasons why the fight will often get pushed up to here. Because like you can also potentially hold them around here combined with like this section as well, right? But there's just a lot of ways to challenge people on here, and it's difficult to have like that classic six-man team with the healers and the tanks and everything. And then up here you don't really have that as much, because here you have a very nice high ground, and then you can also like play this lane. You're at the end of the lane and you can challenge them all down it, and you also have like some cover to work with and stuff like that. So yeah. Alright, so she did that over there. That's pretty good play from our person, and then we followed up with that. That's awesome. That works really well since, like, they were all trying to push. It works really well as well since they were all trying to push out here, and they were kind of spread out and stuff like that. And so pinning them right here, like, really helps out the situation. So I think that's, like, a very good ultimate, basically. And it kind of guarantees that you're massively increasing the chance of her ultimate working. Because she's, like, half health right now. You know, it's tough to go in by yourself, right? Yeah, she got pretty low health there. And you basically cut off the healers and distracted these people, so it's really good. Yeah, I guess we almost brought him back this way, huh? Yeah, but it gets dangerous. Like, that was an attempt to CC you. So, like, you could have died, like, you know, potentially with certain things happen and stuff like that. If we know exactly who's alive and stuff like that, then I guess we would know if we're technically able to be killed or not. But yeah. Alright, so now we're just kind of chilling. But again, like, they are coming out of spawn. You know what I mean? They are in this rank as well. And so they should come. They shouldn't get stopped here. Like, we can only do that like in quick play, basically. Like, against some people who are a lot worse than our team. Or, you know what I'm saying. So like we can never expect to hold a point like at this point. Like they're always just gonna be. I mean, they're always gonna be like in GM. Yeah, they're always gonna be trying to come in. They're gonna, if they can't get through directly, they probably be coming from behind and attacking our healers and stuff like that. So in general, it makes sense to sort of already be leaving this area. Basically, I'm not sure how like pros would do it and stuff like that. Like maybe there's like something you can do to make it work in here, or maybe you would sort of immediately take the high ground and sort of have a battle like this and then let it develop into whatever it develops. I just don't feel like it makes sense to even be here anymore, but I could be wrong on that. But that's kind of what I'm thinking. Like, you can, like, it's just kind of a shame to go all the way out here, but I guess we'll just take the high ground. I don't know. But then the other thing is, like, if we're paying attention, we would know that we used our ultimates. They haven't used them since whenever they last used them. So they not only, even if there were no ultimates, they would have a good pressure here. Like, there's just no ultimates in the game in general. But yeah, we can expect that they actually have an ultimate advantage right now. So like, you know what I mean? Like, it's so that's why I think this is like very suspect, because What is the goal? We're not trying to sneak up on somebody. Like, this is literally their spawn. Like, we're going into our own doom here, you know what I mean? And yeah, so then he can kind of take advantage of that. Similar to like what we were saying before, where she's out here with the ultimate, and then we pin them down here and get them here too. So it's like, since they're spread out, it was easier to kill them with the ultimates. So he's using a situation like that too, where you have a DPS and a tank over here. That gives him more access to this area. But it was a good recovery. It pinned him immediately and with the help of the team. But it's just like, I think realistically, there's almost no good reason to go over here, especially when we're expecting them to have a good push on our team. Because I think being here is kind of a problem, but then going forward from there is even more of a problem. And also, we are a tank, so like, you know, we're hypermobile. Sometimes we try to do stuff like that, but it's just like the wrong direction, right? Yep, just about got him, but yeah, now our whole team is dead. It's fine. So now that happened. And it only took them one ultimate to do that. So now they have like a bunch of ultimates from our perspective. Specifically, they have this guy again, Namor again, and they have their Gambit ultimate and their Venom ultimate. And their other healing ultimate coming soon, as well as the Iron Fist man. Alright, so we're back in it now. So what can we expect to happen from this here? We have relatively even ultimates, let's say, if we're just keeping it simple. And then yeah, so we want to have an extended fight in this whole area because we want the timer to go down. So we immediately took the flank and helped out our DPS over here. But yeah, he's getting healed pretty heartily. Looks like we got stuck on the environment there. I know how easy it is to do that, but it's still something we got to look at to say we want to not do that as much as possible, right? And then they used theirs, and I guess we don't have one. Where is she? Oh, she died again. It's too bad. So the fight is pretty much lost now, yeah. So I think it was... We are the tank, right? That's why I think going over here, that's why I was immediately like, you know, if we cleaned up the kill super fast, that would be pretty useful, right? But again, it just kind of like leaves this whole place open since we're the tank. And then I felt like, you know, because Angela's limited with like her big first attack, she can't get it back fast enough to like just go back and forth from enemy to enemy. And also she can't use her shift that many times, right? So she's like she's gotta play a more limited game in like team fights, basically, you know what I mean? So that's something we have to work with as well. But like if we just look at this, okay, let's start it back earlier. Okay. Alright, so this is what we came in on. Yeah. Yeah, since they're right there, it's like we don't really want to commit to the body block too much. But we could have committed some more. Potentially, just for a second there. And then we sort of... Then there's a Venom in the back line. And then we went and took this, like, path to the flank. Yeah, he's just so strong with that crap now. Oh my gosh. So I think this would make more sense if we weren't receiving direct pressure from the entire team during a time where it's important for us to have an extended team fight. If we lose our DPS to this fight, it's kind of like, I don't know, he's like a hypermobile DPS on his own. So it's just like, it's good to help him out if we could help him out in a situation where it makes sense. But I don't think this is one of those situations, because we need to stop these guys from collapsing on our team too much, because they literally are all coming in hot, right? And we know ultimates are going to be coming out and stuff like that. And then we're thinking, how can we best serve our team And then if we would have been checking this whole main team fight area, we probably would have noticed the Venom is attacking Mantis, and Mantis is on her last leg, and maybe we use our shift and push him around. Now we can no longer immediately kill her. They get healed back up, and now she's not dead from that specific attack, right? Um, and then she could have used her ultimate right now, right? Okay, that's one example. But let's say we didn't really look back, so we didn't even know about Venom, and we just challenged these guys. I think we would suffer from the same fate. So I guess this is kind of a lesson from just how much of a, a pain in the ass, you know. In general, diving on our healers is a problem, right? But, you know, Venom is a pain in the ass for sure. But, like, in general, anything diving on our healers is a problem. So, like, let's say we dived their healers, and we pushed them both back, but we can't really get the kill on them. That wouldn't have been enough to stop Venom, you know, because he can just take so much damage while he's doing this attack. So it's kind of like our only option there was to defend against Venom to have a chance in this team fight. And also, if we're aware as well of the ultimates, like, because we had time to check when we were coming in, right? We would have known that Mantis is our only healing ultimate right now. That's why, again, I felt like this action is just not really, it doesn't make sense with the macro of the game, right? Like, we don't need to kill Iron Fist right now. Like, that would make sense in a time where it's not a full 6v6 team fight, and you're kind of like helping out with a side kill during a time when it feels good, right? But we have the entire 6v6 team fight, and healing ultimates are kind of make or break the fight, as well as the other ultimates, right? So that's kind of what we want to be defending against, or forcing out, or, you know, Angela, you know, taking somebody out of the fight at a really good time and stuff like that. So that's kind of what I can say on there. You know, obviously it's tough to say exactly what to do right or whatever, but yeah. Oh, it looks like we might have got confused. Oh, I think we just did a shift to get that, but on my screen, since the thing was purple, it looked like maybe we went after the purple thing, but yeah, I don't think so. All right, so we can't stop it for another 10 seconds. It's fine, or, you know, 3 seconds. It's fine. And everybody else is going to come in. Unfortunately, she used her ultimate now. Yeah, she couldn't last very long either. I would say save that for sure. That had no benefit. That was not worth 2 seconds. Instead, we could have an ultimate advantage for the next fight. Maybe they wanted to switch, but like that's the thing we got to know about switching is we shouldn't do it. We should keep the 50% rather than just use it. Alright, so we're doing a healthy charge on them right at the beginning there. That could have ended badly for us. But when we see this switch, we know this is actually in our benefit, basically, because we'll be able to get more heals from that. Yeah. But it's been super dangerous for a while, so in the interest of like trying to win more games, we'll just look at this whole thing. Because, like, what can we do as Angela right now? Obviously, we can travel a long way, we can harass enemies, but it doesn't mean we always can, in the sense of, like, you know, do it without dying. So this is already, I'm looking at 4 enemies that he could turn on me as well. I don't have it in my brain to know exactly what all the CC can happen right now. Actually, not that much CC, huh? Like, nobody can do CC except this, and, you know, I think he's got, like, a little bit of one, but not something that could actually, so we're actually free from CC. So I guess if I was trying to level up my game, that's what I'd be looking at, was like, what exactly are there CC options on me? And yeah, so that kind of protects me in this moment. Because otherwise, like, for example, an invisible woman, you know, she lets you play around for a little bit, do whatever you're doing, and then right as you're about to leave, boom, she pulls you back with that big ass thing, maybe hits you with the shift as well. Now you're definitely gonna die. You know what I mean? So it makes a huge difference who has CC, so that's pretty interesting to realize how important that is.